and I am here to represent my topic on lumbar spondylosis. First of all, in this we are studying introduction, definition, causes, signs and symptoms, pathophysiology, physical examination, diagnosis, differential diagnosis, treatment and outcomes. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल स्पॉन्डिलाइसिस बेसिकली होता क्या है? स्पॉन्डिलाइसिस मीन्स होता है प्रॉब्लम्स विच आर रिलेटेड टू स्पाइन, और मतलब अपन ये बोल सकते हैं कि जो भी प्रॉब्लम्स होती है स्पाइन से रिलेटेड वो अपन इसमें स्पॉन्डिलाइसिस में कवर करते हैं. इसमें अपन पढ़ रहे हैं लंबर स्पॉन्डिलाइसिस, सर्वाइकल स्पॉन्डिलाइसिस, लंबर स्पॉन्डिलाइसिस, ऐसे डिवीजन होते हैं इसमें. तो it is an degenerative spinal disorder. Its changes in the spine are frequently referred to as the osteoarthritis. It is the most common cause of spine pain and stiffness. More than 85% of people over age 60 are affected. अप्रोक्स 80 to 85% अपने इंडिया में भी पेशेंट वो हैं. 60 तो फिर भी ऐसे अपन ज्यादा बोल दिया. इसका ऐसा होता है कि नॉर्मल मतलब अपन चाइल्डहुड एज में 20 अबव भी बोले तो भी होता है, बट इसमें सिम्टम्स अपन को शो नहीं होते हैं. सिम्टम्स अपन को होते हैं ओवर 60 years. Now definition. This is a degenerative disorder of the lumbar spine characterized clinically by an insidious onset of pain and stiffness and radiologically by osteophyte formation. Now, what is osteophyte formation? Osteophytes are the bony overgrowths that cover due to the stripping of periosteum from vertebral bodies. The most common level at which this occurs is between fourth and fifth lumbar vertebra in the lower back. Now you can see the spine conditions. In first you can see the normal disc, and then इसमें देखो कि second number पे अपन degenerative disc है जिसमें मतलब degeneration हो रहा है इसमें. Now third one is bulging disc जिसमें उसमें एक bulge outgrowth हो रहा है. Now इसके बाद है herniated disc जिसमें एक आप देख सकते हो वर्टिब्रा के और डिस्क के बीच में एक herniated process हो रहा है. इसके बाद है थिन डिस्क. थिन में मतलब अपनी जो डिस्क का जो नॉर्मल साइज होता है वो बिल्कुल ऐसे छोटा हो जाता है, जिससे जो उसकी वर्टिब्राज है उनका मतलब कांटेक्ट होने का चांसेस ज्यादा हो सकता है. एंड इन राइट साइड ऑफ द इमेज वी कैन सी द बोन्स पर बेसिकली एक बोनी प्रोजेक्शन होता है जो अपने बोन की एजेस पर डेवलप होता है. नाउ इट्स कॉजेज. मेनली अपन इसको बोल सकते हैं कि एडियोप्लास्टी की वजह से होता है, विच मीन्स ओवरवेट. और अपन ये डिजेनरेटिव डिसऑर्डर है तो एजिंग फिनोमेना इसमें सबसे मेन है. So it is an aging phenomena. With age, the bones and the ligaments in the spine wear, leading to bone osteoarthritis. RPI, which is repetitive strain injury caused due to lifestyle without ergonomics care. And the risk factors are genetics, smoking, injury trauma and mental health. Ergonomics में अपन बोल सकते हैं जैसे अपनी जो डेली लाइफ में अपन जैसे होता है, जैसे अपना बॉडी का जो पोस्चर होता है वो सही नहीं होता है, और अपन को ऐसे बोलते हैं कि बाय बर्थ कोई इंजरी है, डिफेक्ट है, तो उसमें भी अपन वो दे सकते हैं कि वो उस टाइम पे विजिबल नहीं होता है, बट वो बाद में जाकर के विजिबल हो जाए. नाउ साइंस एंड सिम्टम्स. स्पाइनल स्टिफनेस पर्टिकुलरली इन अर्ली मॉर्निंग, मतलब ऐसा होता है कि जब अपन सो करके उठते हैं अपन अर्ली मॉर्निंग में तब ये बहुत ज्यादा अपन को पेनफुल होता है. मसल स्पाज्म होता है. सीवियर पेन एट द रीजन L4 एंड L5. नमनेस इसलिए होती है क्योंकि इसमें अपना क्लोडेशन ऑफ नर्व्स हो जाता है, विच मीन्स कि अपने जो ब्लड का फ्लो है वो प्रॉपरली नहीं हो पाता है, और ब्लड का फ्लो है वो प्रॉपरली नहीं होता है, और मेनली इसमें शियाटिक नर्व इन्वॉल्व रहती है. वीकनेस, difficulty in walking, pain that decrease with rest. पैथोफिजियोलॉजी एक्चुअली ये बेसिकली होता है डिहाइड्रेशन ऑफ डिस्क. एंड इसमें प्राइमरी डिजनरेशन बिगिंस इन द intervertebral joints. This is followed by a reduction in the disc space and marginal osteophyte formation. Degenerative changes develop in the posterior facet joint. Osteophytes around the intervertebral foramen may approach upon the nerve root canal and thus interfere with the functioning of the emerging cycle. Now, physical examination. Radiological examination and physical examination both are necessary, but for us, we have to find physical examination firstly. So, general examination of the spine, inspection of the entire spine. Look and for any obvious swelling or surgical scars upon the spine or related area. Assess for deformities, uh, postural deformities, we can say, scoliosis, kyphosis, loss of lumbar lordosis. Look for the shoulder asymmetric and pelvic tilt. Now, second is palpation. Palpate for shoulder tenderness over both bone and soft tissues. Perform an abdominal examination to identify any masses and consider a rectal examination to exclude other pathologies in this region. Movements. As we know, spine can flex, extension, lateral flexion एंड रोटेशन. तो अपन को इसमें सारे मूवमेंट्स चेक करना है इसके कि ये प्रॉपरली हो रहे हैं या नहीं हो रहे, या फिर कहीं मूवमेंट करने में पेन हो रहा है. So examination of the spine must include examination of the shoulder and examination of the hip to exclude this joint as the cause of the symptoms. Now neuromuscular examination. Sensation, tone, power and reflexes should be assessed properly. All peripheral pulses should be checked as vascular claudication in the upper and lower limb can mimic the symptoms of radiculopathy or canal stenosis. Now, diagnosis. First of all, first diagnosis is X-ray. These pictures are traditionally offered as the first steps in imaging the spine. X-ray will be show aging changes like loss of disc height and bone sperm. Now you can see in the image we are seeing the L4 L5 region properly in this. बट अपन को इसमें सिर्फ डिस्क का हाइट वगैरह दिख सकता है और कोई बोन्स पर है तो वो दिख सकता है. एक्चुअली इसमें थोड़ा सा ये हो गया है, बोन्स पर है ये. Now MRI. This study can create better images of soft tissues such as muscle, disc, nerves, and the spinal cord. Now in this MRI, we can clearly see the muscle, spinal cord, and we can easily see all the soft tissues of the spine. So best way of diagnosis is MRI. Radiological findings. Good epi and lateral view of the lumbosacral spine should be done after preparing the bowl with mild laxatives and gas absorbents like charcoal tablets. It is particularly difficult in obese patients, the ones usually suffering from the disease. This disease. Following में signs may be present. अपन को ये signs अपने MRIs और X-ray में दिख सकते हैं, MRI में दिख सकते हैं. Reduction of the disc space, osteophyte formations, narrowing of the joint space of the facet joint. Now clinical evaluation. These are the following tests which we can perform and check that any disease is present or not. First is sacroiliac joint stress test. इसमें test position होती है, patient position होती है, वो होती है subject side lying, examiner stands next to patient and place both the hands on the top of the other directly over the subject iliac crest. Now action. Apply downward pressure. पॉजिटिव फाइंडिंग. अगर उसको मतलब लंबर स्पॉन्डिलोसिस प्रेजेंट होगा inadequate of possible involvement of posterior SI ligament. Now, seated flexion test. This is second one test which we can perform. The patient is seated on the stool or treatment table with both the feet flat on the floor, a shoulder withered apart. The examiner stands or kneel down behind the patient with the eyes at the level of patient PSIS. The examiner thumbs are placed on the inferior aspect of the patient PSIS and a firm pressure is directed on the PSIS, not facial, not or skin rag, to follow bony landmarks motion. The patient is instructed to forward bend as far as possible within the pain-free range. Now, third one test is standing flexion test. इसमें patient position is standing, fit and hip without apart, knee extended. Now the physician fingers are placed on the iliac crest. Thumbs rest on the posterior superior iliac spine, which is PSIS. Ask the patient to bend forwardly slowly without flexing the knees. Now, physician feels or and observe the PIS movement. The side which moves first and further indicates restrictions of the iliac sacral joint on the same side. Now, this is very important as we all know SLR, straight leg test, in which patient is in spine position with knee extended by the physician or physiotherapist, hip flexion to the point of discomfort or end range of that motion, decreases hip flexion and move into passive dorsiflexion. If it is positive, pain reproduce and recur with reduces SLR, and if it is negative, pain reproduce but does not return with reduced SLR. Differential diagnosis. When a patient is suffering from low back pain, there are a lot of possible pathologies that could be the cause of the pain uh, along with the lumbar spondylosis. There are other rheumatoid arthritis, minor back trauma, excessive exercises, disc herniation, lumbar compression fracture, overuse injury, back strain, or coccyx pain. Now treatment. As we all know, surgical treatment is the last procedure which we can done in this. Surgery is reserved for the patient who have suffered pain that has not been relieved by other treatments. Includes laminectomy, removal of vertebra, or we can say removal of lamina, discectomies, surgical removal of the whole or a part of intervertebral disc, foramen foraminectomies, a decompression surgery, ADR, which is artificial disc replacement. And in this, we can also do lumbar fusion, in which surgical process is in which two or more vertebrae are united together. Now, non-surgical management, which are pharmacological medicines, NSAIDs, which are we can give ibuprofen, naproxen, muscle relaxant like corespondridol or cyclopentazepine, opiate medication for gastrointestinal or lumbar facet injections we can give. Now, outcomes vision. How can we decide that the level of pain is how much according to the patient? So we have some scales by which we can identify or we can understand the level of pain in that particular patient. First is numerical pain rating scale, which is NPRS. The patient is asked to score three pain rating: worst, current, and the best over the last 24 hours. This scale is the variant of VAS, but also assess pain intensity. Now, second one is pain self efficacy questionnaires, which is PSEQ. This questionnaire rates how confident patient feels performing activity despite of pain. This is indicated on a scale from 0, which is no confidence, to 6, which is completely confident. Thank you.
Good morning, respected teachers, seniors, and my dear friends. Myself, Harshika Gupta from BPT third year. Today I'm here with the topic lumbar spondylosis. This is the content which I'm going to throw it as like mentioned on the slide: definition, characteristics, etiology, diagnostic process, outcome measures, examination, PT management, and brief discussion of the PT management with their references. So I'm going to start with the definition. According to Physiopedia, lumbar spondylosis can be defined as a degenerative conditions affecting the disc, vertebral bodies, and associated joint of the lumbar vertebrae. And if I'm taking references of the one of the article which I found it on the PubMed, according to Debbie E.S. and Midland, which was published in 2009, sorry, spinal arthritis is a degenerative process defined spondylosis of the lumbar spine. These are some characteristics by which found that lumbar spondylosis is there. First characteristic is that osteophytes are formed. Second one is patient can experience joint stiffness. Third one, lower back pain, leg pain, numbness when standing and walking. Fourth one is the bulging of the ligament flavum and the spondylosis. There are some etiology over there. First of all is aging due to generative disc disease. Third one is abnormal spinal movement. The spinal movement may be like scoliosis, kyphosis due to the abnormal posture. And there is also One of the etiology, that role of genetics. As already my senior Vari boss already mentioned all of the things. I'm just giving a brief idea as per my knowledge. So there is a diagnostic procedure by the MRI, where MRI for the pinch nerve, we can say another one is a degree of herniation, and X-ray is for the bone sperm, that is ossified formation. Third one is CT scan, computed tomography, that was diagnosis for the stenosis, narrowing of the spinal canal. And some of the outcome measures which as per my knowledge, I just know that a few things about these things, so I'm not going on a detail. NPRS, that is numeric pain rating scale. Second one is ODI, Osteoarthritis Disability Index. Third one is PSF, the patient PSFS, the patient specific functional scale. And some other examinations by which we examine the lumbar spondylosis, general examination of spine, that is the first one, in which we examine the deformity of the spine, that it was like scoliosis, lordosis, kyphosis. And second one is palpation, where is we can say see the that there's any tenderness or over the bone or over the soft tissue. Third one is movement. We ask to patient to do the flexion movement, extension movement, lateral flexion, and rotations. Fourth one is neuromuscular examination, in which we see the reflexes, senses, parts, and tone of the muscle. So the main thing which I had that topic, that of physical therapy management, exercise therapy and electrotherapy. It categorized into exercise therapy and electrotherapy. In exercise therapy, about that we're going to discuss about the aerobic. We just go with the treatment as a aerobic muscle strengthening exercises, manual therapy, massage, and yoga. We all have discussed in our later slides in a detail. Electrotherapy, we can give the modality to the patient in this condition, lumbar spondylosis, that was TENS, traction, hot fomentations. So now discuss with the exercise therapy. As I say that in a brief, in exercise therapy, we prefer for aerobic aqua noodle exercise. As name suggests, that aerobic aqua means combination with the hydrotherapy and aerobic exercises. Noodle is preferred for the different equipments in the water. All forms of exercise can be included in this in aerobic aqua noodles exercises. Basically, if I'm talking about the aqua noodle exercises are of four types: like noodle up, noodle down, noodle under, and around. This means all under the water exercises. Just its name depend upon the movements of the patient and preferable exercise of the patient. The maximum time duration for this condition, lumbar spondylosis, is 20 to 30 minutes, and repetitions maximum can be 20. So now for the muscle strengthening, the repetitions for each and every exercises, as mentioned, I'm already mentioned in the crunches, river crunches, low rotation, cat and camel pose. That was a 10 and 20 repetitions. And for cat and camel pose specifically, there is a hold of some 10 seconds. Now yoga is 10 to 15 repetitions. And as per the severity of the lumbar spondylosis also, the main two poses are there, which is very effective according to that article which I already mentioned in my references. That was Davis E. Published on the 2009 through the PubMed. That is Valasana and Bhujangasana. Electrotherapy. Electrotherapy, it is a use of modality for this conditions, lumbar spondylosis. There's a hot fermentation, TENS, traction, as I already mentioned in the previous slide. In hot fermentation, we can use the paraffin backs, whereas the patient position is a prone lying position on a couch, and therapist position is a stride or box standing position. In this technique, there's lots of paraffin backs techniques over there, direct powering technique. But why prefer the brushing technique? Is just because brushing technique is easy and it is most preferable technique by the therapist according to the article as I read. And there is a two type of brushes according to size, 4 inches and 6 inches. So 6 inches more preferable, and the duration is 30 minutes. Next hot fermentation technique was a hot pack. And, it's in a position that supine lying position on couch, and its duration is approx 20 to 30 minutes, and also it depends on the severity of the patient. So second one, the modality is TENS. in which patient position is supine lying in couch, therapist position stride or walk standing position. In it mode we can use pulse. It is most common because of osteophyte formation, or in this condition there's a more severity of the pain as per comparison to normal back pain, and its frequency is 10 hertz, duration is 15 minutes. So third one is traction. In traction is many types like weight, overload, self traction, nano traction. In this traction, we use the intermittent traction that I already mentioned that in the type intermittent mechanical traction. In that traction position, the patient position is prone line and therapist position is stride or walk standing position. Type it already told, and hold is this, for the 10 to 20 seconds. Duration is 10 minutes. These are the some references which I use for this PPT. Thank you.
रिकॉर्डिंग स्टॉप कर दो.
Yeah, boss, I done.